Hey guys, Jessica Peterson here. Thank you so much for taking my call today and accepting this free video. So I'm super excited because I know what I'm about to show you today is going to make a huge impact for your business. And I know that because we've applied these exact same strategies to over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys, and it has made a huge difference. And I'm not talking one or two extra customers. I'm talking a significant difference, hitting goals they didn't think they would ever hit. Okay, so this is huge, you guys, and I'm super excited. So please feel free to take what I'm about to give you, run with it, apply with it, start today and start making that difference. If you decide it's too much or you want help, feel free to reach out because this is our specialty. We'd be happy to partner with you. Okay, so what I'm going to show you today are three things. We're going to talk about content, we're going to talk about citations, and then we're going to talk about backlinks. Okay, here we are on your website. And before we get started, I just want to mention just a couple things. When it comes to ranking, there are several ranking factors. And ranking factors include readability, usability, your navigation, etc. And just so some of these fonts are really hard to read and really small. So I definitely bring this up so people that have a hard time seeing can see it, and that the colors aren't blending in so much. So it is a ranking factor. Just thought I'd throw that in there. But I do like that your phone number is a click to call, which is awesome. Having the click to call for mobile users is great. And throw a form right up here at the top above the fold. Those two things are going to help your conversions when people do actually end up landing on your website. Okay, so now when it comes to website ranking, one of the biggest factors is going to be content, and that's the content on your home pages, your service pages. You have to have separate service pages for all your major services, which it looks like you do have, which is awesome. If you have service areas you service outside of Las Vegas, you should be doing the same thing. Now, the home page here is the most important page because it ties all of your website pages together. So content, again, is going to be key here. And content includes videos, it includes images. Want to make sure the images are not generic. See how that says INTDL41? That doesn't help you. These images need to be optimized with your local keywords. Because that's what people are searching for your service. 99% of the time when people search for restoration, they've never had a restoration company before. So they're not going to know who to call. They're going to search local terms. In this case, like fire damage restoration Las Vegas, smoke remediation Las Vegas. Okay? So you've got to focus on those local keywords and understand that people search differently. So you need to capitalize on the various versions and variations of those keywords. So Google sends something called crawlers, which are like little mini robots. And it scans all of your images. It scans all of this written content to learn about your business, to learn what type of services you offer, and where you offer those services, so that it can better understand you and send customers to your website. But if it doesn't have that proper information, if it doesn't have keywords, if it's not really showing location, Google doesn't really understand what you're about. And if they don't understand what you're about, how can we expect them to send you customers, right? So it's really, really important to work on your content keyword strategy. Focus on those local keywords. Your homepage needs to have at least 1,500 words of content or more. So if your competitors have more than 1,500 words, you need to have more than they're doing. If they're at 1,500, shoot for 1,800 or 2,000 words, okay? More is better. You need more than what your competition is doing. And when we discuss content, we're not just talking about content on your website either. Content is important no matter where you have it, anywhere on the internet. So that includes your social media pages and Google Business Profile. You need good quality content based around the services and areas you serve. Use those keywords because every single one of those is another opportunity to teach and show Google who you are, what you do, and where you serve. All right. Sorry about that. Now, as we know, when a customer does a search, they'll put in a search term similar to this, okay? And when they do, we need your business to be the one that pops up or be as close to the top as possible. And there's 3 different areas that you can have really good positioning in on the first page of Google, okay? The first one is always going to be ads. Those are going to be cost per click ads, as well as these local service ads. And these can be really lucrative for you guys as long as you have your processes dialed in, you have your system set up correctly, and have that foundation there. But if not, it can be a money pit and actually cost you a lot more than it's worth, okay? So, depending on where you are on that spectrum, we would want to focus on the other areas first, okay? And that's because this is where a majority of the traffic comes. So this area here, this is your Google Map Pack, your Google Business Profile. You need to be one of these top 3 when somebody is searching for your service in your area. When you're not, you're losing 30% of your potential business because 30% of people come straight here and don't go anywhere else. So it's really critical you get here. But to do that, you need to optimize your Google Business Profile. And there are several factors in doing that, but the most important are your citations. And that is simply listing the name of your business, your address, your phone number, and your website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, Glassdoor, Yelp. Okay, so you need a lot more of those than your competition because, again, every single one sends signals and information to Google explaining what your business is about, the services you offer, and where you perform those services. So all of those are important for your business. Now, this third section here is the most important section. This is the organic section because, and it is important because 60 to 70% of people will skip over the ads and they'll skip these maps here and they come right here to this organic section. So if you're not listed here for any of your services or areas that you serve when somebody does a search, then you're losing an additional 60 to 70% of your business every single month. So in order to get here, it all comes back to the foundation of this website being properly built, optimized, your keyword strategy, okay? So let's look at what your top competitor is doing for water damage in Las Vegas. Here we have ServPro, and yes, they're a franchise, but don't worry, you're not competing as the franchise as a whole. Only these little locations near you, okay? And these guys are very beatable. You actually have an advantage over them, and that is franchisees rarely, especially this specific one, are able to modify or edit any of this information. So they can't develop their own strategy. They can't go after their own keywords. And so you have that advantage. So all you have to do is better than what they're doing. Okay? So that's more content, better quality content. Hone in on the keyword strategy. Have more blogs, more pages, etc. Doing better than your competition. And then you support that with backlink SEO. Okay? So this here is Ahrefs, and it tells us how your website is performing. As we can see here, you have a domain rating, that's your website as a whole, of 1.4 out of 100 in Google's trust flow. That means Google does not trust your website. And that is partly because of the quality of your website, but more so the power you're sending to your website. As with most things in life, nothing works without power. And to get your website power, we have to send it backlinks. But not all backlinks are good backlinks. The fact that you have 102 backlinks and a score of 1.4 says that you have a lot of spammy, junky backlinks in here. And so not all backlinks are created equal. You need good quality, do follow backlinks. It doesn't do you any good to go out and get backlinks from Pizza Hut and Burger King because you don't sell food. Even though those are high-ranking website, high authority, for you that'd be like spam. So you have to go and get good quality backlinks, mostly related to your offerings. Other home service businesses providing you links, vendors, magazines, articles about your services. All of those things are going to give you good quality links. It's going to help increase this score, which means it's going to increase Google's trust, which will then allow your website to be promoted and increase in the rankings so you can actually be found online. It's also going to help rank those keywords. So right now you've been indexed for 58 keywords, but you're only getting 3 people on average to your website per month. So you're missing out on hundreds of potential customers every single month. Now, if we look at your keywords, there's 10 spots per page on Google. So we can see here, none of the keywords are ranking, not even for a brand, okay? So we have a lot of work to do here to get those keywords ranking and drive that traffic to your website. If we look at SERVPRO, we can see here, this local area has a low score. They're not doing any power or anything to support it. And I wouldn't either because they can't do what they need to do on the website to make it work. So they're relying on the power of their entire website. Because the franchise has such a high score, they have high authority. And so they're able to push the power for the main part of their site to these little locations. And because of that, they're able to be indexed for keywords and rank those keywords. And when we look at their keywords, these are their money keywords, the local buyer intent keywords, with lots of traffic, and they're in the first positions. So they're getting all of this traffic that you could be getting. So yes, these guys are absolutely beatable, but you do have to apply each of the strategies I have just shown you today. And when you do, you have the opportunity to dominate in your area. So please feel free to take this information, run with it, start applying it today. But if you decide you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a partner to help you grow, then that is what we're here for. At Peterson SEO, we specialize in this, and we specialize in working with companies just like you guys. So if you have any questions, you'd like to schedule a time to chat, go ahead and reply to my email, or even just give us a call here, and we'd be happy to chat. Thanks a lot for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.